balances it out for every side's happy in a way, and it puts him in a right perspective. Yeah. And the interesting thing, sorry, may I continue?
Please.
In 1975, hear how it's so wonderful to hear him and what happened in 1979. The 3 co-winners of the Nobel Peace Prize for Physics was him, a practicing Muslim, an Englishman, a practicing Christian, and a Jewish gentleman who was an atheist. You see how wonderful? All 3 separate parts of the world were working on the same thing, and how nature is the equalizer.
Nice.
They were all still researching the same thing, and they all came out to the same. You see?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a way to... You're going to get, once you start moving into evolution, and I know it's not taught in some universities here, by the way.
Oops. I think another thing you'll get asked about is conservation of the forest, or what's really going on, or should we be scared? You know, people are probably coming here because they have heard some things, and I think it's objective if you tell them. I can say, you can't probably quite, that half the rainforest has disappeared in my lifetime. A lot of rainforest has been either cleared or degraded significantly, and one of the problems with that is rainforest doesn't return like other forests, like Canadian fir forests or tundra. Maybe that's a difficult one, but deciduous forests have actually a regrowth rate that's quite healthy, and a lot of times we've based our forestry on knowledge that came from temperate forests, which is too bad, because these forests would probably take thousands of years to bring back not only the orchid, but the orchid bee, and then have it situated in the tree and have the diversity of trees return, is like an amazing thousands of years process, if that, you know. So these forests once gone really can't be recreated. They can be planted into plantations like palm oil, or maybe one species of seed will dominate this forest for several thousand years, and the trees might grow up if you're lucky. But bringing those mammals back and bringing those birds back take a long time, and also take a source, and you're on an island here, making you even more vulnerable. So the importance of saving it is huge. And then they say, well, you know, why should we bother to save it? And you're going to have on your fingertips. Did I give you guys those bookmarks? Anyway, I brought some bookmarks for the staff where it says the 10 reasons to save forests, you know, carbon storage, energy, home for library for biodiversity, clean water, soil conservation,
ecosystem services,
clean air, carbon storage, I said that, cultural. It's huge in Ethiopia, where I work. In India, they save the forest because it's spiritual. If they lose their forest, they've lost their religion. In that case, pharmacy, medicines, clothes, food. So you have to be able to just kind of rattle that off, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, and you know, you should get a nice traditional Malay man who's been in the forest, old man, if you can find somebody who knows what can be eaten.
Right.
Because we've lost so many of the foods that we eat today. We've gone to only like wheat, rice, and we've been cutting off all the other stuff like the yams and all. They've all been very narrowed down, you know. And bananas, we you know what I mean. If there was a disease outbreak, many of the bananas will not survive, as they had a blight, right?
Exactly.
Because we've so specialized and bred only certain species. There's so many other bananas that you could eat, the core of the banana. So food is another aspect
absolutely
that you
huge.
Talk about.
Almost everything we eat had its origin in tropical forests. Do the homework on that.
And the tallest rainforest tree, this is a good place to tell them. The tallest recorded tropical rainforest tree in Borneo is what's this, kapur, which is a dipterocarp. It measured at 94, I saw this tree, 94.3 meters. So take that one. That one's how many meters, that one there? What's your tallest tree here?
Maybe 60?
Meters, no, feet. That's feet, right?
60 meters maybe. Yeah, that's probably 60 meters. 150.
That's 60 meters?
50 meters, yeah, it's kind of in a gully, that's why.
Okay. How high are we from the ground?
40
to 50 meters.
All right.
This one may be around
check. I would like you to check how
Yeah.
high it is, get that confirmation. And so imagine another 30 meters,
Yeah, huge.
that tree. And those trees have very small leaves because they can't catch the wind and all that. you know.
Right, and to brag about that, Malaysia has the tallest, I mean, the dipterocarps are the tallest trees in the world. And that's a big old mouthful, but it's a very important family of trees because I think it's also economically the most important group. Unfortunately, for clearing, for selling, but on the other hand, if sustainably harvested and managed, it's still an incredible income for all of these countries that are in this region of the world.
And I think at night something's eating the shoots on these ones.
Yay!
You can see there's some shoots being
We
eaten.
have to go back at night.
Yeah.
Whole
Find out
nother
what's eating
conversation.
some of the trees
Night
there. You'll
walks.
see what's eating the young shoots on it. Could be colugos because I know they love young shoots.
How fun.
Also, another thing I found about many of those trees that does not require animals for its dispersion, by wind or by water. These seeds tend to be have either some poison, saponi, and to make it distasteful for these herbivores and frutivores from eating, because they solve the
Sure.
solution by wind, and they have higher levels of toxicity to, like for example, lagostroma. If you eat that, it's like a drug. It's opiates, opium-like. You see, if a monkey were to eat that on a tall tree, eat the seeds that are dispersed by wind, then that's going to be one happy monkey who will jump on the imaginary branch next to it, sending that monkey crashing to the ground, reminding the monkey not to eat this here anymore. You know what I mean, this story,
Yeah,
yeah?
that's great.
So if you can find one of those wind in the years that this is going to be open, you're going to get some of the seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep the seeds, and seeds keep very well. If you've got a wing seed, keep it. I'm not sure which one here's got a wing seed, if there's any. The Marantis have the Shora, yeah.
You
Show
could
that.
even have a little goodie box at the beginning for all the guides, you know, a few seeds.
Yeah, and then
fun
throw it, look at
story.
that. Couple of one or
Activities.
two, yeah.
A couple in your pocket for those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't see anything. What am I going to talk about?
Right.
We all get that panic, you know. How's that?
Good.
For starters, we could maybe they'll invite us back next year for 102. This was Canopy 101.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So